Disney Plus is launching a Peter Pan remake. I'll phrase that differently, a woke remake, that once again leaves me scratching my head. Peter Pan first appeared as a character in Barry's Little White Bird, which is a novel for adults published in 1902. In chapters 13 to 18 titled Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens, Peter is a 7-year-old boy and had flown from his nursery to the gardens in London, England, where birds and fairies teach him to fly. The location and setting of this novel in London, England in 1902, where the entire demographic was white European. This is a white culture fantasy story, that is fundamentally what it is. My question is, how is that now seen as somehow a bad thing? Why do other cultures get to keep their stories? Let's look at another Disney example, Moana. This story takes place in Hawaii and is celebrating the Samoan culture, and the Samoan people. Why is this celebrated and perfectly acceptable, yet a story that originated over 100 years ago in England isn't allowed to keep its racial heritage? Essentially, the message that woke entertainment is sending is, that it is not okay to celebrate any avenue of white culture. It's not okay to be white and that white culture should be entirely dismantled. It isn't white fragility, it is wrong, period. It is anti-whiteism. I imagine this may be a controversial take on the situation, but I believe it to be the truth. I also believe that projects like this fail, because a clear woke agenda dominates decision-making above all else. It is ridiculous and very frustrating to the actual fan base having to watch these studios take our childhood favorites, classics for that matter, altered and twisted and being used as a culturally political vessel. They are attempting to farm social media clout online with the woke media and movie reviewers. As the debate continues, let's take a look at all the woke changes it has implemented recently, from dressing Minnie Mouse in a pantsuit to slapping a racism warning before their old movies. In January 2022, Disney debuted a new look for Minnie Mouse, which saw the character abandoning her signature red polka dot dress in favor of a progressive blue pantsuit. The move was met with uproar online, and within minutes of the tweet being posted, dozens of users began voicing outrage over the iconic Mouse's style change. "Way to go, Disney, you turned Minnie Mouse into Hillary Clinton," they wrote. "I was never a Disney mascot fan, but WTF?" Someone else said. "A covert Hillary homage or just woke pandering run amok? What's next? Will she transition into a Michael so Mickey can full express himself?" Another disgruntled user tweeted, "More woke BS. The design's nice, but we're talking about a character that is almost 100 years old." In May 2021, reports emerged that Walt Disney World was implementing a new anti-racism training course for its park employees, which asked them to complete a privilege checklist. City Journal's Christopher F. Rufo shared leaked documents about the diversity and inclusion program, called Reimagine Tomorrow, to Twitter, explaining that it was set to teach staffers about systematic racism, white fragility, and microaggressions. It encouraged its staff to take ownership of educating themselves about structural anti-black racism and asked white employees to work through feelings of guilt, shame, and defensiveness to understand what is beneath them and what needs to be healed. Staff were also told to reject equality, and instead strive for equity, while reflecting on America's racist infrastructure. The leaked training documents also included a how-to guide called 75 Things White People Can Do for Racial Justice. After the documents were made public, the company was branded as the wokest place on earth rather than the happiest place on earth by Twitter users. While Disney's controversial anti-racism training course seemed to be short-lived, the company has made numerous other woke changes to the park that did stick. In March 2022, it was announced that staff members, as well recordings throughout the parks, would no longer include gendered greetings like boys and girls or ladies and gentlemen. It was also announced in December that Disney was going to permanently close Splash Mountain, which was based off of the 1946 movie Song of the South, to replace it with a ride based off The Princess and the Frog. In January 2022, Disney revealed that its upcoming live-action remake of Snow White will not feature the classic depiction of the central character's 7 companions as dwarves. Disney has already removed or changed things that were considered offensive while remaking its old movies. The 1992 animated movie Aladdin contained a line in the opening song, Arabian Night, that many consider to be racist against Arabs. "Oh, I come from a land, from a faraway place, where the caravan camels roam," the lyrics read. "Where they cut off your ear, if they don't like your face, it's barbaric, but hey, it's home." When they released a new, live-action version of the movie in 2019, they changed the line to, "Oh, I come from a land, from a faraway place, where the caravan camels roam." Some people also felt that the 1994 movie Lion King had racist undertones due to its overwhelmingly white voice cast. However, the hyenas, portrayed as low-life gangsters who are outcast from the rest of the community, were voiced by people of color. Whoopi Goldberg and Cheech Marin famously played the animals. When a live-action version of the movie came out in 2019, it featured a much more prominently black cast. In October 2020, Disney also made a big move when it announced that it would be slapping racism warnings on a number of its movies that now come with an anti-racism warning include 1970 musical comedy The Aristocats, 1955 canine love story Lady and the Tramp, and 1960 adventure Swiss Family Robinson. The disclaimer added to these movies, and others like Peter Pan, Dumbo, and The Jungle Book, appears at the start of the movie and reads, "This program includes negative depictions and/or mistreatment of people or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and are wrong now. Rather than remove this content, we want to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it and spark conversation to create a more inclusive future together." In relation to The Aristocats, Disney explained in a press release about the warning that it contains a scene where one cat, voiced by a white actor, yelled out stereotypical Chinese words while playing the piano with chopsticks. It also noted that in Peter Pan, Native Americans Indians are referred to as Redskins and described a scene in which Peter and the Lost Boys dance in Native American headdresses as a form of mockery and appropriation of Native people's culture and imagery. Old movies as they were released on its streaming service, Disney+. In March 2022, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill that prohibited many schools from teaching about sexual orientation or gender identity. Soon after, Disney's CEO at the time, Bob Chapek, spoke against the bill. We were opposed to the bill from the outset, but we chose not to take a public position on it because we thought we could be more effective working behind the scenes, engaging directly with lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. Afterwards, many conservative families called it their last straw, and said they were boycotting the park. One Texas father of two, named Trent Talbot, slammed Disney to Fox News for surrendering to the woke mob. Disney has surrendered to the woke mob and is using its platform to indoctrinate the children of America into becoming the woke activists of tomorrow, he said. Kids need entertainment that is a refuge from this crazy culture, where they can be entertained with just great stories and fun characters. And parents should have confidence that their children are seeing and hearing stories that are good and true. Ohio mother and grandmother Patty Garibay suggested people void your household of all things Disney. Walt would turn over in his grave to see what his beloved company has become, she added. How do you feel about all of this? Have things gone too far? If so, is it too far and beyond repair? Let me know in the comments. If you like this content, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, it really is appreciated. I'll catch you on the next one.